Be prepared for highly offensive language from the start and throughout, and adult and sexual themes.
Right, I've got to start. Best face-to-face noms ever. I'm just putting it out there now. Putting it out there now. Bobby's at an old back. Chloe makes Austin a bit nauseous, and Sherry is a dangerous. Well, is dangerous as shit. And they were Scoop's words. They're not mine. The noms might be in, but everything is not what it seems. That worked. We're going to get to that in a minute, but first, it's been a big day for the Brits. Queen Liz is celebrating the longest reign in the history of the British monarchy. And today I met Camilla. Really momentous day. Big congratulations to you, Mum, but hold up. Cut the music. You've got nothing on our Madge, because we've only gone and booked pop royalty, an icon of our age. Madonna has been watching Celebrity Big Brother, and she has got plenty to say. You may now sit.
Thank you.
And listen, while I'm getting into the groove for the first time in this series, Dr. Dance is here, look! Oh, getting into the groove now. Yes, mate. Let's see who's going to be joining me. First up, he knows how to get down. It's 5 Scott Robinson. She's got all the right moves. It's the gorgeous Connie Goodman. Finally, she can lead me around the dance floor anytime she wants. It's our beautiful Vanessa Bounce. Oh, what a panel. Well, listen, as we just saw, the housemates nominated face to face, but as Emma revealed last night, the public are actually voting for 2 of the nominated housemates to enter a secret room in the house. But what they won't know is that the rest of the house will be in on it. So, in a twist wrapped up in a twist, this is quite hard, isn't it? The housemates who could be heading to the secret room are as follows. Bobby, Farah, Gail, Jenna, and Stevie and Chloe. There they are. Well, listen, the celeb housemates didn't mince their words tonight, none more so than actual Bobby Davro. Gotta come to you, because I know you are chomping. What did you make of the, what can I call it, assessment of Farah?
I thought he was magnificent. I thought it was as if Shakespeare had written him a soliloquy personally. He was eloquent. He was elegant. He was inspired. He was 100% deadly accurate. I agreed with every single word he said. I agreed with the way he said it because he was gentlemanly throughout. I have been proud, Your Majesty, because obviously she's watching this today, to be British for so many reasons today, but I think the conduct of our British housemates has been superb. And I think the conduct of almost all the Americans has been abysmal. And I think Bobby absolutely told it like it was. And not only that, I thought it had a hell of an effect on her, because although she started fighting back in that revolting, vile, everything he said, ugly way that she always does, when she was in the diary room, I thought she was very, very close to tears at the end.
Well, she was, and Jenna was there to back her up. She actually thought it was abusive, was the word she called Scott.
It wasn't abusive at all, exactly what Vanessa just said. Everything he said was completely true. She's a vile human being. She's horrible. She's a twat.
Chloe, do you think... Oh, go on, Scott.
But, you know, she's got not a leg to stand on. I mean, everything she said is pointless. I really don't like her at all, and everything he said, I'd like him to be my dad. Sorry, Dad. I'd like Bobby Davro to be my dad. He's that much of a good bloke.
Well, this is the thing. Like, look, I don't like, you know, when people are getting bashed on this show. I get it on Twitter. So I don't like it, and I like to be a bit fair. But with Farrah, it is so hard for me. It's so hard. You know, we have supporters of Farrah in the audience. We always speak to them. But it's so hard for me to try and sit there and go, but is it this? But is it that? When Bobby, yeah, all right, it might have come across a little bit harsh, but like Vanessa said, I do feel it was quite eloquent. When she just comes back with dipshit, this and that, it's so hard, Chloe,
Sometimes it's as if the Americans just don't understand the show. Somebody there needs to say to them, excuse me, sometimes the nice people win this show. It isn't all about your badass shit and your badass this and your bitchy this. It's not about that at all.
But Vanessa, like, the Americans are all about competitiveness. I don't get it.
Well, this is the thing, Chloe. Was Bobby's words justified in your eyes?
I think it really was. I mean, when he was speaking to her, I think he'd been building up for so many days to actually say this to her face. And
you could see it.
Yeah, definitely. And then when he had his moment, oh boy, did he take it. And Farrah, this is the first time, by the way, and people can say, Jenna can say, listen, it was abusive, it was this. Has Farrah not been abusive to other people in that house? Has she not? And then Bobby's the only one who's really, really cracked Farrah throughout this whole house. He's the only one
hit a
that...
spot there.
She's felt so vulnerable straight afterwards that she had to come straight to the diary room because she didn't want the rest of the house to see it.
Well,
she stayed in there
about
for 20
the diary
minutes.
room, you know, she said that none of it hurt her, but she was clearly taken aback.
very rattled.
She refused to leave the diary room as a result.
What she said to Bobby the other day when he was laying in that bed was unexcusable, and she deserved everything he said. Well done, Bobby Davro.
Well done, Bobby.
Well, on that note, let's see. Do we think, like Bobby said, you know, she's, regardless of whatever people think of how she looks, I think she's personally stunning, I really do. I think she looks fantastic. But do we think there could be a beautiful person on the inside?
I think I'm totally, obviously, on my own in this audience, because I think she is misunderstood, I think. She is, obviously, you know, with her words, she's quite abusive to her housemates, but she has to have a heart in there. And I think she's a mother at the end of the day, and I think she is getting to the point where you will see it. She kind of told James that she's going through therapy. You know, she's actually trying to open her heart up.
I hate using this word because it's muggy on this show, but will she go on a journey?
I want her to go on a journey.
We want to see a journey, all right?
I think she'll go on a journey. I think she'll go on a journey, but what she needs to remember is, and she's totally forgot this, is she's representing Americans, and she is not doing us proud, because that vile, disgusting, absolutely repulsive language that she wants to spew out at people is what people might represent the Americans as being. I don't think that's really the truth, but that's what somebody might see, and she has to know that, you know, people are going to turn away and not want to listen or help when there is probably somebody that's hurt, but she has to actually give a little instead of constantly just negative.
Can we also remember, she's bloody good TV. Like, that's the only reason I'm backing her.
This is the argument.
I know that she's a bitch, and I know she's a but she's bloody good. That's right. I'd rather watch her than...
She's a great housemate, but is she a great person? That's what we're trying to
I wouldn't want to live with
out.
her, but as a housemate, she is really entertaining. I mean, at the minute, she's getting the most airtime out of everyone.
But on the plus side, I think we can all agree she looked hella fan in a nomination photo. Can I just say, for her whole work in it?
She's only got one flip-flop, so
She's only got one flip-flop, though. That's a shame. But listen, Bobby's other nomination was Gail. He said she struggled with all the turmoil in the house. Scott, what do you think of nominating someone and giving a reason because I think they'll be better on the outside?
Sometimes I think it is a cop-out. Sometimes I think that, you know, you should actually vote someone that you maybe had an argument with or you're disagreeing with.
Yeah.
To say that she could, you know, make her own decision and she could maybe say to people quietly, you know, nominate me or whatever. She doesn't want to go.
We would hear it, Scott.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, but they talk about it in there anyway and they get, oh, the hot water gets turned off, so what? Basically, I think it was a cop-out and he should do something else.
Well, Janice also nominated Gail because it breaks her heart, she said, when she sees her crying. Chloe, again, do you think that's a... Because Gal didn't look too impressed. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
Gal was
she
like,
didn't.
"What?"
She didn't. She really didn't. Do you know what I find really interesting about Gail at the minute is, though, I think where she's had nominations for being a weaker housemate and people think that she's vulnerable, she's now all of a sudden trying to really toughen up.
Yeah.
Which I find is really, really
I mean, that
amusing to
eyeliner, she was
watch.
ready for war.
She's just but like,
Go on,
literally,
Gal.
she may as well have done that and just done a bit of
Yeah.
camo print
I
on
loved
herself
it.
and been like, I'm on it. But yeah, I mean, Janice, she makes me die. Throughout that whole nominations, her face was just making
Janice
me die.
just makes me die on a daily
she
basis.
was so
I'm
funny.
just putting it out.
But yeah.
Nessa, let me ask you just about Gal, because Jenna actually said that Gal's got a bit of a beast in her.
I do know Gail.
I know you do.
Gail.
Are we going to
And Gail-
see that
well,
beast?
Gail is lovely because she's so complicated, so that's why she's very interesting to watch. So the crying and the vulnerability, the frailty, the fragility, that's all true. She is like that.
Yeah.
But she's also really tough. She comes from a very, very tough background. She's been through so many difficult things. How many women would dare to appear in public the way she does? Just say, I have no hair. She's got real guts. I would use the word balls, but I won't because I'm British and I'm beautifully brought up, and so I wouldn't do that. But she is a brave girl and she's a very courageous girl, and I think she's just about had it with the crying. Now she realises, actually, you know what? I'd like to stay. I want to stay. I want to win, and I think she could win.
You think she
Yes.
could? Do you know what
I do. I think she could
I
win.
just want to say quickly about Gail, just very, very quickly about Gail. You won't know this, but obviously we all get their housemate packs that they fill out for the sites and stuff like that. And one of the questions with Gail, which I absolutely just love her for, and I don't know Gail, but my estimations just went boom. She said, if anyone could play you in the movie of your life, who would it be? And she said, Matt Lucas.
Aww.
And I think that was just brilliant. I absolutely love it. But on that note, give them lot a round of applause. I love that. Still to come, we're going to be looking back at Scoop's presidency, plus from the leader of the free world to the world's leading dance psychologist. Dr. Dance is going to be putting moves on me. No way. But now, there is a fake eviction on Friday. Who goes into the secret room? Yes! You decide. Here's the numbers you need. This week, Bobby, Farah, Gail, Jenna and Stevie and Chloe Jasmine all face the public vote. Which two housemates would you like to fake evict? From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to fake evict. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to fake evict. For Bobby, add 02. For Farah, add 05. For Gail, add 06. For Jenna, add 09. For Stevie and Chloe Jasmine, add 13. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Or you can vote via the Big Brother app, where 2 votes will cost you 99p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Still to come, all our prayers have been answered because Madonna is going to be telling us exactly what she thinks of all our celeb housemates. It's going to cause a bit of commotion. I can't believe it. I'm a fan. But now, listen, as the Queen's record-breaking reign continues, President Scoops is sadly over. Now, in a house rampant with rage, we can always find solace in the wisdom of the fat man. We give you, President Scoop, a celebration.
With my presidency, with my time, however long it is, I'm going to try to do some good with it. We are going to look fucking crazy. There are people in India, Africa, in my country and your country, that one slice of bread would be the biggest shit that ever happened in 3 weeks. I'm gonna give it to you for the record. Right is right and wrong is wrong. I am the person who consumes the least food in here. But I am the fattest one, so I'm gonna look the craziest out of all of you because it's gonna look like I hate everything. What's this gonna be? Is it gonna be living or is it gonna be war? There are people in here that I don't think are built for war. When the wars start coming down, bro, if your mind is not there, you're not gonna be able to take what's being thrown at you. Who the fuck care? Who the fuck care? Who? It's a family right now. I'm your family. I ain't shit, but I'm all you got. And you all I got. And that's it. That's the bottom line. So we will live together. I went over and tried to make peace with everybody. So anybody who says I'm not working can personally kiss my ass because I'm working hard. And if they got a problem with it, they need to come see me. United States, the United Kingdom, we're both united. If I can work towards that, then I think that my presidency meant something. And when it's time for me to give it up, I'll give it up. I'm about peace, and I'm about love, and I'm about respect. Right now, I'm being presidential as fuck.
What a man, what a man. But from one man to another, it's my turn, because it's time for today's news. This morning at 10:36, the housemates were still recovering from another explosive night. And guess who was still dominating the conversation? Let's have a look.
It's going to be interesting to see how Farrah handles things today.
She must be feeling a bit shitty.
She was pissed at me last night. She was pissed at me because I came in and talked to you. Last night was a very pivotal thing.
Wait for it, because at 10:43, believe it or not, Farrah was finally getting a bit of love in the bathroom. Not like that, not like that. Watch your mouth out. Have a look.
Where I come from, the world I come from, you don't leave your people on the street. So...
Where I come from, it's the same thing.
Okay, so where I stand with it, and I be very clear with it, I can associate with everybody and be cool, but I refuse to disassociate with you because other people have problems with you. And long as I can be truthful and be real, and be truthful and be real and live and do the right thing, then when I get out of here, I keep my head up high. You and Jenna can be put up 3,000 times for eviction. You're not going nowhere.
No way.
No way. It's just not happening.
There's no
because
way. There's no way.
Your character is so powerful.
Strong.
Can't get rid of you. Your character is so powerful. People don't want you to leave. So you're not going anywhere.
He's just dishing out the love. Well, at 11:46, Big Brother gathered the housemates together to explain part one of this week's shopping task, in which they all have to give up something they love.
Housemates, it's now time to show your dedication to your team by making personal sacrifices. In front of you is Big Brother's safe box. In order to earn your individual points, you must each agree to sacrifice personal items chosen by Big Brother into the safe box. Bobby, in order to earn 50 points, you must sacrifice your dressing gown. James, in order to earn 50 points, you must sacrifice all of your hair products.
We got him.
Gail, in order to earn 50 points, you must sacrifice your love of cleaning.
Oh!
That's a tough one.
You cannot wash up, tidy, or clean in any way until Big Brother says otherwise.
Oh, Gal can't clean. She's going to be gutted. That one. Listen, if you thought it couldn't get any worse, wait until Big Brother got round to Clovey, because he hit and where it hurt.
In order to earn 50 points, you must sacrifice your love. This means that you'll not be able to participate in any form of PDA, be it physical or verbal.
I knew it. Okay.
This includes sleeping in separate beds.
Oh. You said what now?
All right. Chloe.
In other words, you'll not be allowed to touch or talk to each other in an affectionate manner until further notice.
With the exception of Gail, everyone has had to put something material into a box. And this is something so precious to me.
Babe, come on, don't get upset. Come on.
This man is like one of the reasons I get up every day.
Stevie. In order to symbolise that you are sacrificing your love,
Babe, we'll be fine.
Chloe Jasmine must put her engagement ring into the safe box.
Babe, come on.
That's real shit.
Babe. Come here. Come on. Babe, don't worry.
Love.
Babe, don't worry. We'll be fine.
This is sick!
Babe, we'll be fine, all right? Don't worry.
That is sick. Quite funny to watch, and I don't mean to be horrible. But it's after all that emotion at 3:30 this afternoon, Big Brother decided to lighten the mood a bit, because I think it needed it. It did need it. So he done part 2 of the task, which was a dance-off. So every time the housemates hear Fat Man Scoops Be Faithful, they've got to hit that dance floor. That's what.
Stick it up.
You got $100 bill, get your hands up. You got $50 bill, get your hands up. You got $20 bill, get your hands up. You got $10 bill, get your hands up. Single ladies, I can't hear y'all. Single ladies, big noise.
What? Yeah. Giving it a Janet. And that's today's news. There you go. Stay tuned for even more action from the house, a dance masterclass, and actual Madonna. Well, not actual Madonna. I don't need to say any more. See you after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brothers bit on the side. In just a minute, Dr. Dance will be giving it the whole part of our eyes. But now, here is what we like to call in the business an exclusive. Have a look.
I'm going to absolutely just break Bobby down.
Yes.
I'm going to break him down because, you know,
Whatever.
I know in a... Wait, no. It's not whatever. It's for the team. Not break him down in an evil way, but just watch reality comedic genius at work, okay? Because...
All right,
are we in agreement?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chloe.
We've got to be as resilient as the Americans. Come on, you've got to really get yourself together.
Now, the game is afoot because what they'll be doing, they'll be trying to catch us out.
Came on, this was a game.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So listen, loose wounds taught me a lot in my life, and the one thing it's taught me is to always self-edit. So what you have to do before, particularly you two, before you speak, before you touch, before you do, self-edit. Go, whoa, stop. Before you say, Chloe, you've got to self-edit. You've got to keep it together every time and never.
Thank the Lord for the loose women. Vanessa, what are you making of the tactics?
Well, I think the Americans are on a hiding to nothing. If they think they're going to break our Bobby down, our Bobby Davro, what can they break down? He's incredibly sincere. He's very honest. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He hasn't got a game. He's just heartbroken at having to live with people who behave like barbarians. So they can't break him down. There's nothing to break. And as far as Sherry, she's absolutely right. What Chloe's got to do is just kind of try at least to pretend to be a grown-up for 5 minutes. And actually, it's not a major sacrifice. They're not saying he goes home, you stay here, or you don't get to speak to him at all. They're just saying just try to keep your tongue out of his ear for 1 minute or so. You know, I don't think that's a big deal.
Lovely.
I really don't.
Just very quickly, you two, do we think Chloe and Stevie are going to be able to do this?
Do you know what? I think it's good that they've had this because, I'm going to put this point across as well because no one really knows this. This is the first time Chloe and Stevie have lived together.
Yeah.
They don't live with each other and they haven't since they met. So those two, where they're so, glued to each other, this is new for them and they're really excited. And I've not seen this side to Chloe and Stevie and I've known them for quite a while. And she's looking really vulnerable. So I think she's going to be really vulnerable at the beginning of this task and then probably find her own way a little bit. So I think give it time. She'll be all right. She'll come to it. She's a strong girl.
Scott, do you think they'll be all right?
I think they'll be all right and I think it will do them good, definitely, yeah.
Let's hope. Let's hope for the shopping budget. Well, listen, it is now time to step it up a gear. I'm going to get footloose and fancy free because we have saved the last dance for him. Give it up for Peter Lovett himself, Dr. Dance! I love you. I've missed you so much.
Me too.
I love it. Listen, there's been more boxing than dancing in the house this series, but he's been matching the moves to our housemates and he's picked out some celeb specimens that have caught your eye, haven't you?
certainly have, yeah.
I think we should start with the lovebirds. We were just talking about them, Chloe and Stevie.
Well, they're an enigma. They're a kind of fantasy enigma couple. So in one way, we kind of get this couple where they're kind of adults and yet they're children, and they're the one they're like Beauty and the Beast. But we don't know who the Beauty is and who the Beast is.
Oh.
And if they were a dance, they would be like a very formal waltz, and they'd be very box steps. Go back here, and then we go in a box step. We go 1. Now look into my eyes, and then we keep it really tight in this box. And this is our relationship all the way through. But now we have to separate. We have to separate and twirl. And then you're now going to lead me, and then we separate and twirl, and you twirl me around. Because we don't know who the leader is in this relationship and who's the follower. And I think in this relationship here, this couple, they are a kind of fantasy waltz, Beauty and the Beast, where they're both beautiful and they're both a bit odd as well.
But you say fantasy.
Yeah.
What are you making of the relationship? Because there's been so much speculation on this show about them.
Well, I think the relationship's a fantasy as well. I mean, it's almost like a 13-year-old relationship where they're so in love they have to be in each other's faces, kissing and licking all the time.
Licking.
They're 13 when that happens. And now they've been told by the headmaster to move apart from one another, and they're desperate. Now, no normal relationship can last like that. Imagine that.
Oh.
So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced the relationship will last very long.
Well, let's see how they do in this task. Let's have a little look at Bobby. What have we got for Bobby?
Oh, Bobby.
Oh.
Now, what we've got for Bobby is we need to get on the floor for Bobby.
We've got to get on the floor.
On the floor. And what we've got for Bobby, we've got these bread rolls here.
Oh,
now,
these are nice.
Bobby,
We've gone up in the world.
Yes.
We've got a bit of cheese on.
Now, Bobby is like Charlie Chaplin's bun dance. And all you see moving here are just the buns and the legs, which are the forks. Now, they're dancing along. We're not really seeing Bobby's true personality coming out. In fact, we're not really seeing any of Bobby's personality until today, when he got one of the forks and he went, and he started stabbing away. And he didn't just stab once, he stabbed several times. And then he went back for more. So now what he's doing, I think, is manipulating that relationship by stabbing and then moving the buns around.
So just giving it a bit of a false pretense going on, you reckon?
I think so.
Oh, Bobby. You put Natasha and Farrah together.
I did, Natasha and
Why
Farrah.
you put Natasha and Farrah together?
Natasha and Farrah. You see, I think Natasha and Farrah, you see, I think they're almost like they're so kind of... Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, little feather.
No, we have feathers for them, because I think they're like sisters. I think, although I know I do, because they're very similar to one another, about the same age, they're both very beautiful, they've both got families, both downwards and upwards families, and families are very important to them.
Right.
So if they were a pair, they'd be doing a kind of sisters dance, and they'd be doing this kind of thing, and then they'd be doing the turn around, they'd be going, with their feathers, but then the elbows would come in, and they'd go, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then they'd be going forwards and down, and back and then we go round, and then the elbows come in, and go the other way. And now I think, you see, that because they're kind of so similar, that's why they're sparking off.
So you think that it's all very much like, yeah, we'll make out to get along for a little while, but like we've seen, boom.
Absolutely. And I think one day they'll be best of friends.
Oh.
And I think it might happen in the next couple of weeks.
That's a big statement, Pete.
I think they could get close. I think they really could.
Let's move on to Jenna. Are you familiar with her work?
Only in the house. I've never seen her professionally.
All right, Pete.
So now, Jenna, she's got that thing. She doesn't listen. OK, she's got all that noise in her head. And if she was a dance, she'd be a heavy rocker headbutting. She'd be doing this, and the head's going, because Jenna never listens to anything anybody ever says. And the reason she doesn't listen is because there's stuff going on inside her head, and it's all just going on and on and on, and she can't hear anybody else. She won't hear, she won't listen. There's just all this noise inside her head. Now, I don't know psychologically what that noise is inside her head, but it's affecting, it's giving her cloth ears. She's not able to hear anybody else.
So do you think that's why we've seen a bit of, well, numerous sides to her? We've seen her be, like, quite nice, then all of a sudden she's flipped, gone with fat. Do you think that's why? It's all the noise?
I think so. It's all the noise inside her head, and she's just not responding to anybody. She's just doing whatever's in there at that time, so it's really kind
I think that's quite a fair point, in all fairness. Let's move on to our former president, Scoop.
Well, Scoop. Now, Scoop has got the personality of a substitute teacher in school. He's kind of gone in, he's got all the right words, he's had all the right training. He goes in, he says, right, we're going to do this, but nobody listens to him.
That's true.
If he was a dance, he would be a one-person conga. he'd be da 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 da, and he'd be saying, "Come on, everyone, join in with the conga," and he'd be going, "Hey, everyone, join me in the conga, please, everyone, join me in the conga." It's really good, but
that's it.
But nobody would join him
But
at
no
all.
one's following him.
No one's following him.
Why not?
He's got all but he hasn't got the authority. He's got the words, but no.
And he's
no
got the
authority.
voice. Let's be
Oh,
fair.
he's got everything. He's got physical presence. He's got the voice. He's got everything. But people just are not interested in what he's got to say.
All right, let's move on to Gail. What are we seeing with Gail?
Gail, well, Gail, we've seen this transformation in Gail.
Okay.
So, Gail, at first, you see, she has that kind of winsome, insular, looking down, crying, "Oh, woe is me, everything's a bit thing." But today, oh, blimey, what do we see today? We suddenly saw her come out of herself, and she's a rock chick. She's going,
oh, give me on it.
And still doing this kind of rock chick thing. She's saying, "Hey, everyone, look at me. I don't care about what you're doing." And she's confident, she's sassy, she's a fantastic woman, and she's just giving it everything she's got.
Are we going to see more of that from Gail, though?
I think so, but it's a survival thing for Gail. Gail's in survival mode, so it's either kind of closing in on herself and crying, or it's the final thing, that survival, saying, "Come on, here I am." And that either make her or break her. So we might see less of that. If she goes back to the crying again, that's it, finished.
What do we think we're going to see? Crying. Think she's got it?
Yeah.
Oh, they're always split. Well, listen, last but definitely not least, let's talk about Janice.
Well, Janice looks in the mirror.
I'll have a look. Go on,
I
girl.
love Janice.
Go on, Janice.
I absolutely love Janice. I think she's fantastic.
Glad she's wearing a long top there, that's all I'm saying.
And, but when she looks in the mirror, she doesn't see herself. She sees an 18-year-old girl looking beautiful and fantastic. But what she's done to her body, she looks more like a kind of a woman of 103.
No!
Where all her skin is kind of baggy and falling off. But the great thing about her, she doesn't care at all. So if she was in a nightclub or something, she'd be there, her skirts would be up, and she'd be sort of dancing, and she'd be like, so her legs would be going a bit like this, and then the other leg there, and then there'd be lots of bottom happening, and she's just brilliant. And I hope when I'm her age, I can dance like her, because she just is brilliant. I love that.
She's just a free spirit.
Completely.
Don't give one whatever.
Exactly.
I think that is Janice, don't you? Think she'll do well in there?
I think she will. I think she could be there to the end.
Were you liking Janice?
Yeah.
They seem to be liking her. Listen, I'm so happy you're back. I've missed you so much. Please give it up for Dr. Don. I love him so much. Stay with me, because after the break, the Queen of Pop will be surveying the BB Kingdom, and you do not want to miss her speech. She really expresses herself, Peter. She really does. But now it's a fake eviction on Friday. Cheeky Big Brother's up to his old tricks again. Here's all the details you need to get voting. This week, Bobby, Farrah, Gail, Jenna and Stevie and Chloe Jasmine all face the public vote. Which two housemates would you like to fake evict? From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to fake evict. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to fake evict. For Bobby, add 02. For Farrah, add 05. For Gail, add 06. For Jenna, add 09. For Stevie and Chloe Jasmine, add 13. Calls to the long number will cost 50p plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50p. Or you can vote via the Big Brother app, where 2 votes will cost you 99p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on Catch Up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the show that attracts the biggest names in show business. Now, last week I give you Cher, didn't I? Give you Cher. Well, this week I'm giving you Strike a Pose. It's Madonna!
Hi, move on. Hi, I'm Madonna, Queen of Pop and honorary Brit. You're certainly getting your money's worth from these American celebrities. You're giving more drama than a bus full of drag queens on their way to a wig sale. And there's more tension between Farrah and Natasha than the stitches holding Janice's face together.
That was categorically out of line.
I think Natasha secretly admires how rational Farrah is.
I am going to fucking kill this whole fucking house.
Farrah's more self-absorbed than a panty liner.
I don't give a fuck.
I love Gail, And it was so sweet of Austin to shave his head in support of her. I also shaved in support of Gail. I love Janice, but the only talent that ever came out of her mouth was Sylvester Stallone.
You know what? That's a fucking miracle, okay?
Think about it. She's like the girl next door, if you happen to live next door to an asylum. Chloe and Stevie more uncomfortable to watch than me falling over the Brits.
I adore you.
I love you.
What if I told you about that fucking cape? Get it away from me. You know that James? He's the real star of the house. Can I adopt him? The way he flops around wearing no underwear, he has me totally digmatized. And Sherry, I saw you licking James's naked torso. Hands off. He's mine. Does he dance? I'd love to take him on tour with me. Of course, I will have to audition him rigorously. I'd bang him harder than a shed door in a hurricane. I may have a lot of miles on the engine, but I'm all good under the hood.
What? What? What, this is just like casual Wednesday, you know? Well, listen, Charlie Hyde is going to be back next week with another superstar, A-lister. And I've got to say, another clap for Charlie, because I'm loving these people. Love them. Chloe, what were you making of Madonna's observations there?
I found her hilarious. She was so funny. Her little things were making me crease when she said she was more self-absorbed than a panty liner.
Yeah, well, I mean...
She couldn't have got it spot on, though.
All the
She
lines,
did.
all the lines.
She was great, she was great.
Scott, are you fan of Madonna?
I don't really like Madonna. I dislike Farrah more, though.
All right. I'll straighten these up then. Well, listen, let's get back to matters at hand. We've got 5 housemates up for this week's fake eviction now. They won't know that we all know. They know, but we'll know. You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know. But what we don't know is which pair are going to be heading off into the secret room. So let's look at some possibilities, just for fun. Just for fun. So first up, let's say Jenna and Gail. Because there's a little newfound respect there. You know, Gail's a badass now. Scott, do you think they'd make a good pairing together?
I'm going to be really honest and say I don't think they'd make a good pairing because I don't really want Jenna to go back in, and obviously they get to go back in. So I'm going to say that anyone that I don't like shouldn't go in there. So Gal can stay, Gal can go in there and have a look, but take Bobby Davro with her.
Oh, do you think Gal and Bobby?
Not because it would be exciting, just because they get to go back in.
Yeah, just to be like, oh, yeah, but remember, it's going to be flipped on their head because the house are going to know. So really, I would look at this as the two that go in the house, you want to see sort of embarrass themselves a bit.
No, but they get to go back in and then they're back in the house and then they can redeem themselves. Let's get rid of the people that... You know, once I vote Farrah, I want her gone. I don't want her to come back in.
Farrah is annoying, but she's a good housemate. She's the only one actually, like, really creating at the minute, so I think we should keep her for the time being.
Well, let's go back to Jenna and Gal, because Jenna did say she wouldn't want to be in Gal's line of fire. Vanessa, do you think there could be trouble?
I think it would be fabulous to have Jenna and Gail together because I think Gail is going to rise to it and you're going to suddenly see Gail's inner dragon and you're going to see Jenna shrink away in horror.
And the eyeliner is just going to be fabulous.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Yeah.
What do we think of Jenna and Gal together?
Good.
Jenna would eat Gail alive, seriously.
No?
Yes, she would.
No.
Yes, she would. She was humoring her when she said that, honestly. Jenna would eat her alive.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so at all.
Farrah, I think without her little poodle
that way, darling. Get
Farrah
on the
next
telly,
to
sweetheart.
her. No, I think Jenna would just shrink in front of Gail without Farrah by her side.
That's true.
Jenna will think that Gail isn't going to be very good, OK? She'll think that she'll cry. But when she actually sees what she's like... Because she hasn't seen her in the diary room.
No,
but we've
that's
seen.
true.
Yeah. So when she sees her, after 10 minutes of trying to make her cry, she won't be crying, she'll fight back, and she'll see a different side to her.
That's right.
Well, let's move on. Let's move on to another pairing that I've seen branded on Twitter a lot. Jenna and Farrah.
No.
Or Jarrah, as we'll call her. Vanessa, what would we see?
I think it would be
from them?
agonising to watch, but the kind of agonising that you can't tear yourself away from, and you wait for your television to burst into flames and fly out through the chimney because it's all just too combustible, too revolting, too hellish. And I think we've seen an awful lot of their double act, actually, quite a lot already. I'd rather have a little bit of a rest and have it shaken up a bit. I'd like to see them separated rather than together.
Wouldn't it be very much like Scott watching Mean Girls on repeat?
It would be, yeah, and you know what? Jenna is actually quite a nice person when she's away from Farrah. So I actually think that they would just end up being really, really bitchy together. And...
toxic.
Yeah, toxic. I think they should go into the room and then a trap door should just open. Maybe.
It's Big Brother, anything could happen. Jenna and Farrah. Jenna and Farrah. You've spoken. I'm coming up here, darling. Can I just apologise if I take anyone's eyes out? But go on.
You can take mine out. No, they've had far too much airtime already. Get someone else in there, let them have a go.
You think someone else?
Yeah.
Anyone want them in there?
No.
You do.
They're like the alpha females, and I love seeing them plotting and scheming together, and I'd love to see their reaction.
You would like to see it?
I'd love to. I think it'd be so entertaining.
You think they're entertaining?
Very.
Well, look, they're giving us housemates, let's be fair, they are. How about Farrah and Bobby?
This right here. I said it before. This is my dream team that I want in that secret fake eviction or whatever. Because I've noticed that Jenna actually speaks quite a lot about Farrah behind her back. So
if she thinks Farrah's not there...
Yeah, I think if Jenna sees Farrah being evicted, Jenna's going to be like, oh, shit, the public hate her, and then start talking bad about her. Farrah's to the rest of the house. Farrah's then going to see it.
I've got to confirm, actually, what's going on here, because it is confusing.
Go on.
So, say, for instance, it is Jenna and Bobby. They're going to go into a secret place, but the housemates are going to know they're still there.
Yeah.
But they're going to know... They're going to know that they're there.
But Farrah
It's so confusing!
But will Farrah know that Jenna can see her?
Can I just say
will Farrah know that they're watching?
No.
Right,
So the people that are in the safe house don't know that they can see
Let's have a little bit of compassion for Bobby. I mean, shutting him up with that Farrah. Poor bloke.
I think he
so
can
much
handle
flesh
her.
and blood can stand. I really love Bobby Davis. He's really nice. When he keeps saying I'm a nice guy, he is a nice guy.
From what I've seen, I think Bobby can handle
It'll be like an assault to his senses.
Bobby can handle
I don't think he should have to handle it. I think it's too much for him.
I think he's like royalty, Bobby Davro.
Yeah, me
And he
too.
should not be put in there with that.
That's it.
I think he's shown...
You're right.
Bobby's shown a little bit in tonight's episode, and I want to see more of that. So I think putting him in... I think doing that is actually a good thing, because Gail, I don't think, couldn't handle it. Jenna, I'm not really too fussed about, but Bobby and Farrah, I think, would be a great mix.
Well, let's bring it to you guys. What pairing would you like to see? Bobby and Farrah. Any pairings we've not said yet?
Yes, Chloe or Chloe.
Chloe and Farrah.
Stevie and Chloe and Farrah. Why that?
Just because I think... Yeah, because Farrah without an audience... Because them two, to be honest, couldn't give a shit what she says, because they're too interested pecking each other. So, and for her to watch everyone bitch about her and her not be able to fight back would be quite good.
But she will when she goes back. Do we think Stevie and Chloe, would we want to put them with anyone?
No, I wouldn't want to put them with Farrah. And I really detest the idea of poor Bobby having to sort of roughen up and toughen up. I don't think that we want to descend to the level of those bestial Americans. We don't want that at all. We want them.
No, but we want to see them fighting, Bobby.
Not all Americans, those Americans.
Oh, she's piping up.
What I think would happen is Bobby would be able to soften Farrah a little bit.
Yes.
And be able to break her, because what he said to her, she felt it. She felt it. I don't care what you say. She felt it. And the way he did, he was kind and he was to the point, and he said everything that I know she's heard before, but in a way that maybe she could hear it even better, like a dad. And I think that he would break her a little bit in a good way, and they might be able to have a really good moment.
Bob?
I think...
Hang on, Barbara's talking.
I think Bobby would be nice and calm, and I think that she would get more and more and more aggravated, and she would
So
go
you think the
meltdown.
opposite?
She'd go down in meltdown because it would just be the two of them, and he'd stay calm, because there's nothing worse in an argument than someone shouting and someone standing there going...
Yeah, that is true. I'm loving it tonight. They're all doing my job for me. Come on.
But it actually, like, you know, I think it might actually help her get into this journey that she's obviously trying to get through on the show.
Do you think she is trying to get on that journey?
I think she is. It's just she's fighting with herself. She's fighting with herself. So if she goes off into this house with Bobby, she might have that opportunity to go on the journey.
Too late for a journey.
Scott, hang on. Scott, what you say?
She's done too much. She's fought too much, and she's been too horrible. Now if she does go on this journey, she starts crying and says, "I'm really sorry to everyone." I don't think people will listen because she's been too hurtful.
Well, listen, to quote Scoop, I think we're going to need a drink and a therapist after all of this. So give me a round of applause. Come on. That's all I've got time for tonight. And massive thank you to all my guests and our fantastic audience. Thank you. Turn over to 5-star now for Live from the House, and make sure you join me tomorrow. I've got Towie Shorter, The Sleepmans, Nina Mishkov and Russell Grant here. See you then. Night-night.